How you doing, guys? How you doing, guys? It's Danny K. Right back again with another video. Let's go. I'm right back, OTR, and I'm here to talk about my last video. I said I was going to talk about the company I was working with before, and this is not bashing anybody. This is not bashing the company, but just telling the truth. If you're going to work for this company, the company I was working for, drum roll please, was for Western Express. I did a little bit over 14 months to be exact, with Western Express. August was my last date. I started in May. And it's been an experience. First, I did OTR, then I went over to regional, and then I realized, I said again, I always say make more money, increase your skills, and don't be scared to shift to another position or to another place that's not going to pay you what you think you need to be paid or what you're worth. But that being said, I'm gonna tell you, if you think about going to Western Express, I'm gonna tell you what you need to do if you think about making this move. First of all, just know what Western Express is really for. Is really known for being a starter company. Before you go to Western Express, just know this: starter company. And most of the time when you just first start something, guess what? They're not going to pay you as much. They're not going to be at top line pay. So just know this beforehand. Me personally, I didn't have a very bad experience at Western Express. However, I could say the pay was not what I was expecting, because that's my first trucking company. It was not what I was expecting. I did work in the railroad. So pay-wise, let me put this part up. Pay-wise, it was not what I expected. But it was all right. OTR was all right. I made all right money. But went to regional, it was a pay cut. And for me, it was just, I was not going to deal with that. But without further ado, I'm going to give you a list of, if you think about going to Western Express, what do you need to do if you think about going to Western Express? Number one, before you think about going to Western Express, save money. My opinion, save at least 6 months of income. So if your bills are $2,000 a month, you do the math there. Save at least 12 bands before you get into Western Express or trucking in general, but especially Western Express. 2, don't listen to the recruiter. They get paid to put your butt in seats. So most of the time what the recruiter will say, they're going to exaggerate most of the time to put you in their seat. Because once they hand you off to the company, once you go to orientation, once you go into that bus to go to orientation, the hands are clear. They don't got nothing to worry about. Me personally, I went to Richmond, Virginia for my orientation. I got a bus to go to Richmond, Virginia. So most of the time, if you're for Western Express, let me start from the beginning. Save money. Save money. At least 6 months if you want to be saved. By minimum, at least 3 months of income saved. 3 months of expenses saved before you go to Western. 2, don't increase your lifestyle spending. Stay within your budget. Cut down spending if you have to, because for the first 6 months, to be honest, for the first 3 to 6 months, 3 months, but for especially the first 6 months, it's gonna be kind of hard for you. So cut down on your spending. And if you could find another company, do that. But like me, I had to leave while I was working the road. I had to have a company ASAP. Nobody was going to get me except for Western Express. But if you have another company that will get you, in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with Western Express, but go to another company. If that company is going to pay you more, it's going to be local or regional. If that company is going to pay you more, do that. Don't have high expectations. And this is not a video bash Western Express. I got experience. I got something from Western Express. I thank them. Time to move on. But this video is not to bash Western Express. This is a analysis of what you're going to have to go through once you go to Western Express. So starting off from the beginning, at least 3 to 6 months worth of savings, expenses, 3 to 6 months. Have low expectations. Don't think that I'm going to go to the industry, I'm starting, I'm going to make all this money, oh yeah, this check's going to be hitting. Don't think like that. You think like that, you're going to be heavily disappointed. And that's why I say have 3 to 6 months of expenses. If your expenses are over $3,000-$4,000, I recommend you cut down your expenses. 1. Number 2, if you have a spouse or somebody that'll help you out, do that. But cut down on your expenses, because it's gonna be tight. Especially the first 3 months is gonna be tight. You're learning about the industry, you're learning how to roll, you learn how to move, so it's gonna be very tight. If you make over $2,500, $2,000, that's gonna be a good month for you. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it a stack with you, especially if you are driving. Your flatbed's a little bit different, but especially if you're driving, there's gonna be a pay cut. So that getting out the way. The next step, Daniel, I still choose to do Western Express. I'm gonna do this XYZ. No problem. So you did that. You had 3 or 6 months worth of expenses saved. Now you plan to go to Western Express. excuse me, they will take you on a bus. They're going to give you most likely a Greyhound ticket to come to them. If you live in the Virginia area, or you live in the Nashville area, or even PA area, you could drive over to that facility, to their locations that they do training. But most of the time, they will give you a bus ticket to come back. Don't do drugs, don't smoke weed, and make sure you have all that cleared out your system, because they will drug test you, urine drug test. That make sure you have your updated M card, medical card. Make sure you have a valid CDL before you do any of these things. So you're going there, just note this up, you're going to be sharing hotel rooms. Now, I believe they don't co-ed the hotel room. So if you're a man, you're going to be with another man. If you're a woman, you're not going to be with another man. You're going to be with another lady. Orientation is between 2 to 3 days. If you're flat, I believe it's 3 days. If you're driving, I believe it's only 2 days, 1 day or 2. But they're going to give you a road test. The first day, they're going to bring you in orientation. They're going to piss test you, do all this. So if you know you're dirty, don't go into orientation, because that's going to mess up your record. They're going to put that in your record as a denial. If you don't leave, stay there, do your urine test, do your drug test first. Do that drug test. They're going to take you on a block around the truck to see that you could drive. They're going to give you a road test. They're going to give you a road test, and they're going to drug test you. And I emphasize again, because I've been, well, I remember me going there, there's at least 2 people who left. They did not, and this is before the SEP rules, but they couldn't get a job, or they just left because they knew they're dirty. Don't go to orientation knowing that you're going to piss dirty. If you're going to piss dirty, stay home, clear out the system, use that to save more money, then go into this. Any trucking industry, any trucking job, but especially Western Express. If you're doing follicle, cut your hair, you have to do a whole bunch of things. But if you're doing piss, clear everything out your system. You're a truck driver, don't do drugs, don't drink. I tell you, truck drivers are like angels, in my opinion, not all of them. But you can't drink, you can't smoke, do any illegal drugs. You smoke tobacco, but you can't do drugs, because you get tested. And if you get caught, that's not good news. So that being said, yeah, what's next? So you're going to go flatbed, I believe it's 3 days. For driving, I believe it's 1 day. Now, be prepared for this, guys. I think from what I've seen and from what I heard, I love Wilson, but what I heard, there's a very shortage of trainers. So there's some people I know who waited a whole month for a trainer. A whole month. And you're not going to get paid for that month. And if you're flatbed, I believe you get paid for orientation for the 2 days, but your first day, I don't believe they pay for orientation unless they changed it. Unless they change pay for orientation, but from what I know, they don't pay for orientation for the first day. But if you're flatbed, they'll pay for your 2 days of orientation. So going into the situation knowing that, the first month, if you're lucky, me, I had a trainer relatively fast. That weekend, I had a trainer. So I was able to make money. If you're training from when I was in it, it was $97 a day, I believe. So it'll go to $500 and something a week if you're in the trainer's truck. Average, I was gonna pay probably like $380, $400 a week training. You should not, if you're relatively competent, it should not take you more than 2 weeks to get out that trainer's truck. If you have a good trainer, it should make your life easier, and it should not be more than 2-3 weeks to be in that truck. So that's why I say save money, because $300-$400 for me, that's just my insurance. That's what just my insurance money. So just make sure you have money saved, and just know it's going to be a pay cut the first 3 to 6 months in your trucking career, especially with Western Express. There's some trucking companies that will be like, we guarantee $1,000, which is about $800 after tax the first 3 weeks. Western doesn't do that. They'll tell you they're going to pay $97 every day that you're on the trainer. Excuse me. Every day that you're on the trainer. So that's the progression. So after you do your 2-3 days, you're going to be in a hotel room. It's not going to be the nice. It's not going to be no 4-star. It's not even going to be a 3-star. Hell, it's not even going to be a 2-star. It's going to be just a hood telly. A hood telly. So just be prepared for that. You're going to be with somebody else in the telly, somebody you don't know. Get comfortable. Don't just be leaving your stuff anywhere. Not saying that the person you're living with or sleeping with is going to steal your stuff. I didn't go through that, but you never know. It's better to be safe than sorry. Think of it like you're in jail. Just be prepared for anything. Let me take a little break right now. I'm giving you guys giblets. This is Western Express giblets. And I said again, this is not me bashing Western Express. This is not me bashing Western Express. I got my experience from there. But just me letting you know, me being truthful. I was in Western Express for over a year. Being honest for all the new drivers that's going to Western Express. Just know what you're going to have in mind. Just know what's going to happen. Nobody told me this. I didn't really know about this until I got into it. I was ready in the fryer. I had to make it out alive. I had to swim or drown. But as I said again, we know. So let's go again. I'm probably rambling right now, but yeah, make sure you have 6 months is saved up. When you're going to be in a hotel, shared hotel with somebody else. They're going to give you most of the time a bus to come to the terminal, whatever terminal, which is Nashville, Richmond, or PA, to go there to train. Train is going to be, I think for flatbed, for me it was 3 days. I think for driving there's only 1 or 2 days. From when I was there, they only paid you for if you're a flatbed for those 2 days. But they don't pay for orientation. Don't go to the thing that they pay for orientation. Have them out there, they might not pay. You might wait for a month. I haven't heard nobody wait more than a month, but you might wait for a month for a trainer. Me, I say go and talk to your manager and let them know. But like, oh yeah, I don't have a trainer yet. Remind them. Communicate with them. And for the weekends when you're not training, when you're waiting, I believe they do give you, I was in the Richmond River Terminal, they'll give you cards from McDonald's that you get food. So if you go there on a Friday's your last day, during the weekend they'll give you cards so you can get food. Ask them for those cards so you can go get food so you don't have to spend money out your budget. Remember, you want to keep things low. But oh yeah, I heard you guys get McDonald's cards when on the weekend, they'll give you money for food. Do that. If you're waiting for a month, I know the food's and all of that, but go to the terminal to get food from them. Go to the terminal while you're waiting so you can at least save some money. Get their breakfast, get their sandwiches while you wait. And while you're over there, tell them, oh, I need a trainer. Let them know. But when you get to a trainer, it's going to be 2 to 3 weeks of training, no more than 2 weeks. If you're relatively competent, it's $97 and some change a day. Unless they increase the rate. I heard they cut it to $72. Double check me on this information. But just know you're not going to be getting paid a whole bunch of money in training. And the only way you get paid is if you lock in into your account on the tablet and you do your pre-trip and X, Y, and Z. I had a good trainer. He did that for me. And when your trainer goes home, if you have OTR, I think it's different. But you have a regional trainer, when he goes home, they should provide you with a hotel during the weekend. I don't know if things changed, but I know me, when my trainer had home time during the weekend, I was in a hotel. I was in a hotel for that weekend. So just have that in mind. Some people are blessed with a good trainer. I was blessed with a good trainer. Shout out to him. Dre guy, we went out shooting. We had a good time. He was a cool dude. Taught me some things. But if you don't have a good trainer, just hang in there. Learn. You can switch out trainers, but if you can't handle this for at least 2 weeks, you with somebody you're gonna, okay, I can handle this for 2 weeks. I say stick in there if they're relatively competent. But it's something that you cannot tolerate. They're like, oh my, I can't deal with this. Go get another trainer. Don't be scared to do so. But just communicate, be respectful. But just know, I said again, people are stressed out. Just have that in mind. So after training, how much would you get paid? I was a flatbed guy. I was not driving. Driving, I believe, was 40 cents a mile. For flatbed, it's 48 cents a mile. So there's a more pay increase for flatbed. If you're a regional guy in flatbed for Western Express, they have a pay scale. If you do, 2,000 miles, you get $1,500, and it goes down. 2,000, 1,500. 19 is going to be 1,400. 18 is going to be 1,300. 17 is going to be 13. 16, 12, 15, 1,000. And anything below that, you get paid your mileage rate. It's $25 for tarps, $35 for almost anything. Layover, breakdown, everything's gonna be $35. And as you're blessed with a good DM that's gonna pay more than that, most of you guys won't be blessed with that. They're gonna pay you for that. So just know that when you're breaking down, it's $35. Just know that, have that in the back of your mind. So just that's what you're gonna expect in trucking. In the first, your paycheck's not gonna be looking good. You're making 500, 600. Sometimes 400. If you're driving, you will make it 400, 500, $300 a week. If you know how to run, you'll make it $700 if you know how to run. If you're a flatbed guy, you'll be making like $600, $500, $600, $700. If you know how to ride, you know how to run, you run your clock well. But then as you keep going, after the 6 month mark, if you're OTR, you should be making $800 to $1,000, $1,200 a week. Every flatbed. Drive-in, you should be making at least $800, $900. If you know what you're doing, you really run those miles, dropping hooks. You should be making $900, $1,000. No less than, after 6 months you're making less than $600, you're doing something wrong. Unless you're regional. If you're regional, that's only different. But if you're making anything less than $600, $500, after 6 months, you're doing something wrong. You're not running the clock right. There's something wrong that you're doing. But it's a pay increase. Unless they change, it's a pay increase of a penny of a penny. Was it a penny? I was up to 60 cents a mile. For me, the first 3-4 months was 2 cents. And then at the end of my when I left, I was at 60 cents a mile. But at 60 cents a mile, you should be definitely making over $1,000 if you're running right. As a flatbed driver, as a driving, you should be making that amount of money. But just know, the first 6 months is gonna be struggle. If you're OTR, you're learning the clock, you're learning how to adapt to the system, sleep in the bed, learn about all these rules and regulations. It's not gonna be a lot of money, but you're not in Western Express for a lot of money. If you were in Western Express for a lot of money, you are going to be disappointed unless you came from no money. If you come like me, I came from the railroad. I was making decent checks. You feel me? $70,000 to $80,000 a year, making decent money. If you go to Western Express, you're probably making. If you don't know what you're doing, probably 30. If you know what you're doing, you're gonna be making like 50, 60 max. If you really know what you're doing, 60 max. Unless you have experience, this is for my new drivers. But you're gonna be making like 40, 50. If you just know what you're doing relatively, you should be making at least $40,000, $50,000 that first year. Anyway, guys, this is Danny K. Hopefully, if you think about doing Western Express, you got a lot of hopefully I answered at least most of your questions. Don't go to Western Express with high expectations. Just go there knowing you're there for experience. Don't go there for the money. Don't lease unless you have at least a year, 2 years, and you do not lease. Do not lease unless you have a year. Your training is a different case, but do not lease. Don't be stupid and lease and you don't know what you're doing. You don't know the lanes. You don't know where to make money. You don't know what's going on. No, at least be a company driver for a year until you lease. And if you lease, you make more money if you train. Game right there. But I don't recommend leasing. I think you should just do it the hard way, save money for your own truck. But if you lease, make sure you have at least a year in before you lease. Minimum. A year in and money saved up before you lease. I had people who wasn't an express driver, he had a ticket for $6,000. That took him out the game like that. At least do a year in before you train. Before you lease. But anyway, guys, that's it. That's the end of the video. It's a knowledge video for all my people who want to be in Western Express. So all my Western Express drivers, comment down below. Am I right? Tell me if this is what you guys went through. And if you have any questions, any answers, any comments, concerns, DM me down below, comment down below. I'll try my best to answer you promptly. Hopefully I answer all your questions about Western Express. It's a good start. It's a starter company. Get your experience and get out.